Some American celebrities faced dangerous results after surgery, showing that even fame and wealth can't guarantee safety in cosmetic procedures. Let's start our video. Following a cosmetic surgery procedure, Farrah Abraham reportedly went through a frightening recovery period that felt overwhelming and dangerous. In the days after the operation, she described intense swelling, sharp discomfort, and complications that made even simple breathing and speaking difficult, forcing her to seek urgent medical attention. The sudden change in her condition sparked fear about how quickly elective procedures can turn serious when the body reacts unpredictably. Doctors closely monitored her healing, while she publicly shared the emotional toll, anxiety, regret, and vulnerability, reminding fans that cosmetic surgery is still real surgery with real risks. Her experience became a cautionary moment, highlighting how recovery can be just as critical as the procedure itself, and how fast professional care is essential when warning signs appear. Thankfully, with treatment and rest, her condition stabilized, but the scare left a lasting message about safety, patience, and respecting the body's limits. Brandi Glanville has been unusually transparent about a deeply unsettling period involving health and cosmetic complications that dramatically affected both her appearance and emotional well-being. What began as aesthetic maintenance reportedly spiraled into a prolonged recovery struggle, marked by facial swelling, nerve discomfort, and reactions that didn't follow a predictable healing timeline. She described moments of fear when her symptoms intensified, making her worry about long-term effects while navigating constant public attention. The stress wasn't only physical, it triggered anxiety and frustration as she sought multiple professional opinions, treatments, and recovery strategies to stabilize her condition. Brandi emphasized how isolating it can feel when your appearance suddenly changes, especially under a spotlight where speculation spreads quickly. Her journey revealed how cosmetic procedures, even when common, still carry complex biological risks that vary from person to person. Through persistence, medical supervision, and patience, she gradually focused on healing rather than perfection, using her experience to warn others about rushing into procedures without fully understanding recovery realities. Her story ultimately became less about glamour and more about resilience, showing that listening to your body, advocating for proper care, and prioritizing health over aesthetics can make the difference between panic and progress. Lisa Rinna experienced one of the most frightening periods of her life following cosmetic surgery, showing just how unpredictable and dangerous these procedures can be. Initially intended as a routine enhancement, her surgery led to unexpected complications, including extreme swelling, severe bruising, and painful inflammation that made everyday activities difficult and even dangerous. At certain moments, medical teams had to step in urgently, monitoring her closely to prevent further health risks. The emotional toll was equally intense, as Rinna navigated recovery under the constant scrutiny of cameras and social media, feeling exposed while her body struggled to heal. She described sleepless nights, heightened anxiety, and moments of panic when symptoms worsened, reminding fans that no celebrity immunity exists when it comes to medical risks. Her experience became a cautionary tale about the hidden dangers of elective procedures, emphasizing that patience, careful aftercare, and listening to one's body are essential for safety. Lisa openly discussed the lessons she learned, the importance of choosing skilled professionals, preparing for potential complications, and giving the body the time it truly needs to recover. Her journey underscores that cosmetic surgery may promise instant beauty, but the path to recovery can be grueling, unexpected, and in some cases, life-threatening if not handled with extreme care. Wendy Williams shocked fans after a recent cosmetic surgery left her looking extremely unwell, highlighting just how dangerous recovery can sometimes be. What was meant to enhance her appearance reportedly led to alarming swelling, bruising, and skin sensitivity, making her face appear dramatically altered and causing visible discomfort. Sources say she required constant medical monitoring to ensure no severe complications arose. As the early days of recovery were unpredictable and intense, the emotional impact was equally striking, with Wendy facing public scrutiny while coping with the stress, anxiety, and fear that accompany such sudden changes in appearance. Her ordeal serves as a stark reminder that cosmetic procedures are real surgeries, with real risks, and even experienced professionals cannot always prevent complications. Through her experience, Wendy emphasized the importance of careful aftercare, listening to medical advice, and giving the body enough time to heal properly. While her condition eventually stabilized, the frightening transformation offered a powerful cautionary lesson about the hidden dangers of elective surgery and the need for patience, vigilance, and prioritizing health over instant results. Denise Richards' recent cosmetic transformations have completely changed her appearance, giving her a look that many are calling dangerously intense and almost unrecognizable. Once celebrated for her natural beauty and classic Hollywood charm, Denise now shows a much sharper, more sculpted face with dramatic cheekbones, a pronounced jawline, and eyes that seem fiercer and more piercing than ever. Experts believe multiple surgeries, including facelifts and fillers, may have drastically altered the soft contours of her face, creating a more severe and bold presence. Fans and followers on social media are divided. Some praise her daring and fearless approach to beauty, while others express concern, feeling her appearance has gone too far and lost the warmth and approachability that once defined her. Every feature now seems amplified: the lips, the eyes, the cheeks, giving her a dangerously glamorous, almost untouchable vibe that dominates every photo and video, whether intentional or a result of over-enhancement. This new look signals just how extreme cosmetic surgery can become in Hollywood, leaving fans mesmerized, shocked, and endlessly talking. Denise Richards now embodies a high-risk, high-impact style that's impossible to ignore, turning heads wherever she goes and proving that in Tinseltown, beauty can sometimes be both powerful and perilous. Janice Dickinson's recent appearance after cosmetic procedures has left many stunned, as her look has become strikingly intense and is being described as very dangerous. Her facial features are noticeably tighter, especially around the eyes and cheeks, giving her an almost unyielding, sharp expression that contrasts sharply with her previously glamorous and approachable persona. The cheekbones are highly pronounced, the jawline is sharply defined, and the skin around her forehead appears unusually smooth and taut, creating an almost frozen look. Her lips, enhanced with fillers, add to the overall dramatic effect, while her eyes convey a piercing intensity that some observers find unnerving. Industry experts speculate that a combination of facelifts, injectable treatments, and possible brow lifts have contributed to this transformation, amplifying her already bold presence. While Janice has long been known for her daring style and confidence, this latest change has sparked debate. Fans are divided between admiration for her audacious commitment to beauty and concern over how extreme her current visage appears. After undergoing a cosmetic procedure that quickly sparked rumors online, Kim Kardashian faced intense public speculation about her health, with some fans fearing something had gone seriously wrong. Social media exaggerated her recovery period, labeling it dangerous, but sources close to her indicated she was following normal, post-surgery healing protocols. Like many elective cosmetic treatments, swelling, bruising, and temporary discomfort can look alarming without context. Kim remained largely private during recovery, which fueled more concern and viral claims. However, there was no confirmed, life-threatening complication, just the reality that cosmetic procedures carry risks and require careful aftercare. The incident highlights how celebrity health stories can spiral online, turning routine recovery into dramatic headlines. Ultimately, Kim returned to public appearances looking healthy, reminding fans that patience, professional care, and responsible reporting matter when discussing medical procedures. Kylie Jenner's latest cosmetic transformations have left fans stunned, revealing a look that many describe as dangerously intense and almost unrecognizable. Once admired for her youthful and soft beauty, Kylie now flaunts sharply sculpted facial features, with exaggerated cheekbones, a pronounced jawline, and lips that are fuller than ever, creating a bold and high-impact appearance. Experts suggest that multiple surgeries and extensive fillers have dramatically reshaped her face, turning her natural charm into a striking, almost untouchable persona. Social media is buzzing with reactions. Some praise her fearless approach to beauty and her ability to reinvent herself, while others worry that her look has become extreme, harsh, and dangerously unnatural. From her sharply contoured cheeks to piercing eyes and perfectly plumped lips, Every feature now seems amplified, giving her a powerful, edgy, and attention-grabbing vibe. Kylie Jenner's transformation is a stark reminder of how far cosmetic procedures can go in Hollywood, pushing the limits of natural beauty and creating a look that is as mesmerizing as it is shocking. Her dangerously glamorous style has made her the center of conversation, proving that in the world of fame and beauty, boldness sometimes comes with high risk and unforgettable impact. Khloe Kardashian's recent cosmetic transformations have shocked fans worldwide, revealing a look that many describe as dangerously bold and almost unrecognizable. Once admired for her soft, natural features, Khloe now displays sharply sculpted cheekbones, a pronounced jawline, and lips that are fuller and more defined than ever, giving her a dramatic, high-impact appearance. Experts suggest that multiple surgeries, combined with fillers and contouring procedures, have reshaped her face so intensely that it now exudes a more severe and edgy aura. Social media is ablaze with reactions. Some applaud her fearless approach to reinvention and confidence, while others worry that her appearance has become extreme, unnatural, and even intimidating. Every detail of her face, the eyes, cheeks, lips, and jaw, seems amplified, creating a dangerously glamorous, attention-commanding vibe. Khloe Kardashian's transformation shows just how far cosmetic enhancements can go in Hollywood, turning her once warm look into a striking, unforgettable presence that dominates every camera frame. Whether admired or criticized, her dangerously glamorous style has cemented her status as a bold beauty icon willing to push boundaries, leaving fans mesmerized and endlessly talking. Kris Jenner's latest cosmetic transformations have left fans stunned, revealing a look that many describe as dangerously intense and almost unrecognizable. Once known for her elegant and classic features, Kris now shows sharply contoured cheekbones, a defined jawline, and taut, flawless skin, giving her an edgy and high-impact presence. Experts suggest that multiple facelifts, fillers, and other cosmetic procedures have dramatically altered her natural look, turning her once warm and approachable face into a striking, almost untouchable persona. Social media reactions are mixed. Some admire her fearless approach to beauty and her commitment to maintaining a youthful appearance, while others express concern that her look has become extreme, harsh, and unnaturally severe. Every detail, from her sculpted cheeks to her intense eyes and perfectly lifted features, exudes power, glamour, and a hint of danger. Kris Jenner's transformation highlights how far cosmetic enhancements can push the limits in Hollywood, creating a look that captivates, shocks, and dominates conversations everywhere. Her dangerously glamorous style now cements her reputation as a bold icon unafraid to take beauty, leaving fans mesmerized and endlessly talking. Recently, there hasn't been any verified report in 2026 of Madonna being in a new, very dangerous after-surgery condition. What most of the concern online relates to goes back mainly to a serious bacterial infection she suffered in mid-2023, which landed her in the hospital and in an intensive care unit for several days. At the time, her team reported she developed a serious bacterial infection that led to a multi-day ICU stay, forcing her to postpone the start of her celebration tour while medical care continued and a full recovery was expected. Madonna later shared that she had been placed in an induced coma for part of that hospitalization and suffered from sepsis, a potentially life-threatening condition that required time and strength to overcome. An experience she has spoken about as transformative and humbling. After leaving the hospital, she posted a short video message thanking fans and dancing slowly, saying she felt lucky to be able to move and expressing gratitude for support, which some viewers found emotional or strange in tone, but was not officially described as dangerous. Since then, she completed tour dates through 2024, and while some fan-recorded clips or images have sparked concern about her appearance or energy levels, there's no confirmed new medical emergency or surgery aftermath that health officials or her representatives have verified in 2026. Instead, most of the reactions online mix concern, speculation, and admiration for her resilience after that 2023 health crisis. Megan Fox, the Transformers star, has been the subject of lots of online chatter about her appearance and various videos showing her face or movements, but there's no credible news or official statement from 2026 confirming that she's recently been in a very dangerous medical situation immediately after surgery. What is documented from past interviews is that Fox has openly discussed the cosmetic procedures she's had over the years, including a rhinoplasty, nose job in her early 20s, and breast augmentation, some of which she has redone after events such as breastfeeding, and that she has also used Botox and fillers, but she's been clear she doesn't take surgery lightly because she doesn't react well to general anesthesia and is afraid of the risks involved. Fox has also shared that she struggles with body image and body dysmorphia, saying she has never loved the way she looks and that this has influenced her decisions about cosmetic work over time, while fans in Reddit post sometimes "Comment on change" in her looks or even deepfakes on TikTok that can appear unnatural. There's no verified report of a new health emergency, dangerous post-surgery condition, or official risky video linked to a recent procedure. Many of the alarming clips circulating are either old, taken out of context, or simply subjective reactions from viewers rather than medically confirmed events. Despite what some social media posts or fan reactions might suggest, there's no credible evidence that Courtney Cox has recently been in a dangerous medical situation right after surgery, or that any official source has reported a serious post-surgery health crisis. What's happened in recent years is that Cox has talked candidly about facing pressure around aging and cosmetic procedures. She admitted in interviews that at times she used fillers and other treatments that made her face look really strange to her in hindsight, and later had many of those fillers dissolved because she didn't like the results. In mid-2025, she also shared a series of candid, unfiltered selfies on Instagram showing allergic reactions, redness, and skin flare-ups, which some viewers interpreted as looking unusual or jarring. But Cox presented this content with humor and transparency rather than as evidence of a dangerous medical condition, while fans and Reddit commentary sometimes describe her appearance as unrecognizable or alarm-worthy. These are subjective opinions about aging, cosmetic treatments, or social media snapshots, not reports of an actual health emergency or risky surgery aftermath verified by medical professionals or her representatives. WNDTV.com+N, Yahoo News UK, Reddit.com. Nicole Kidman has long been celebrated for her porcelain complexion, refined features, and commanding on-screen presence. So whenever her appearance shifts even slightly, it quickly becomes a topic of public fascination. In recent public appearances, some viewers described her look as sharper, more sculpted, and unusually intense, a style that social media dramatically labeled as a dangerous transformation. Much of this perception comes from high-definition cameras, contour-heavy makeup, sleek hairstyles, and fashion styling designed to create a bold, cinematic effect on red carpets. Under bright lights and ultra-sharp lenses, even subtle cosmetic enhancements, skincare treatments, or natural facial changes can appear exaggerated, fueling speculation about surgery despite no confirmed details. Nicole's striking presentation is also part of her professional image. She frequently experiments with fashion, hair color, and makeup to match the tone of premieres, photo shoots, and film roles. Rather than signaling anything alarming, her evolving appearance reflects the intersection of celebrity culture, beauty trends, and the constant scrutiny faced by global stars. Throughout these discussions, she continues to project confidence and artistry, reminding audiences that reinvention is a common and often intentional part of life in Hollywood. Her so-called dangerous look is better understood as a powerful aesthetic choice, one that enhances her screen persona, sparks conversation, and reinforces her reputation as an actress, unafraid to embrace bold visual storytelling while navigating the pressures of fame with poise and professionalism. Sharon Osbourne has sparked intense online conversation in recent years due to visible changes in her appearance following cosmetic procedures, with some fans dramatically describing her look as dangerous, and not in a literal medical sense, but as shorthand for how striking and unexpected the transformation felt to them. In interviews, Sharon has been open about experimenting with surgery and aesthetic treatments, even admitting that some results didn't meet her expectations. This honesty fueled public debate about beauty standards, aging in the spotlight, and the pressure celebrities face to maintain a certain image. For viewers, the shock wasn't about harm, but about contrast, how different she appeared compared to earlier eras of her career. Despite the noise, Sharon continues to project confidence and humor, often addressing criticism head-on. Her evolving look has ultimately become part of a larger cultural conversation about self-expression, risk, and personal choice in cosmetic enhancement, reminding audiences that transformation in the public eye is rarely simple or universally accepted. When conversations swirl about dramatic celebrity transformations, Dolly Parton inevitably becomes part of the spotlight, with some viewers labeling her evolving glam look as dangerous, simply because it's so striking and unforgettable. But Dolly's appearance has always been a deliberate celebration of showbiz. Fantasy, big hair, bold makeup, sparkling outfits, a style she crafted to stand out and own the stage. Over the decades, speculation about cosmetic work has fueled viral comparisons and exaggerated headlines, yet Dolly herself treats the topic with humor, reminding fans that her look is about confidence and performance, not shock value. What some interpret as a dramatic change is really the continuation of a carefully maintained persona that reflects her larger-than-life artistry. Instead of a cautionary tale, her visual evolution tells a story of control, creativity, and self-expression, proving that reinvention in entertainment can be playful, empowering, and iconic. Through every era, her signature glamour remains part of her legend, showing how image, personality, and stage presence combine to create a timeless star who understands exactly how to keep the world watching. In recent years, Cher has stunned fans with a look that some describe as very dangerous, a bold evolution of her already iconic style. Known for her fearless approach to glamour and reinvention, Cher has embraced dramatic transformations that combine sharp contours, high-impact makeup, and striking hairstyles, creating a persona that is impossible to ignore. Social media often amplifies these changes, using words like dangerous to capture the shock of seeing such a powerful transformation. While speculation about cosmetic surgery surrounds her, Cher herself presents it with confidence and theatrical flair, turning every appearance into a statement of self-expression and artistry. Her look is more than aesthetics. It's a deliberate performance, a celebration of empowerment, and a reminder that true icons like Cher continually redefine beauty on their own terms. Even now, her commanding presence and daring style make her one of the most unforgettable figures in entertainment, proving that reinvention can be both captivating and audacious. Joan Rivers, the legendary comedian and television icon, underwent numerous cosmetic procedures over the years, and the cumulative effects of these surgeries left her with a look that many described as dangerously extreme. Her once naturally expressive face transformed into a tightly pulled, almost mask-like appearance with pronounced cheekbones, a sharply sculpted jawline, and unnaturally plump lips that contrasted sharply with her former elegance. The eyes, which had always sparkled with her trademark humor and sharp wit, now appeared deep-set and hollowed, giving her a piercing, almost unsettling gaze that seemed frozen in intensity. Her forehead and skin showed the tension of repeated facelifts, while the natural softness of her features was replaced with rigid contours that accentuated the artificial enhancements. Even in moments of laughter or on the red carpet, there was an underlying tension in her expressions, a stark reminder of how extreme cosmetic interventions can dramatically alter the human face. Watching a 70-second video of her post-surgery appearance, one could clearly see the dramatic transformations, the tightness of the skin, the exaggerated angles of her facial structure, and the overall effect of a face that had been heavily sculpted over decades. This look, while still glamorous in some ways, carried an almost haunting quality, showing both the dedication she had to her aesthetic ideals and the risks inherent in relentless surgical modification. It served as a powerful visual story of the price of beauty in the world of celebrity, where the pursuit of perfection can sometimes tip into the realm of the uncanny, leaving fans and viewers both fascinated and concerned by the extreme changes they witnessed. Joan Rivers' post-surgery visage became an unforgettable example of how repeated enhancements can push a person's appearance to the edge, turning a once familiar face into something striking, shocking, and undeniably memorable. Priscilla Presley's post-surgery transformation is increasingly drawing attention for its dramatic and almost startling effect. Her once soft and approachable features now appear sharper, with a tightness around her forehead and cheeks that gives her a look of perpetual alertness, bordering on severe. The area around her eyes seems especially altered. Lifting and contouring have created an intense gaze that feels almost piercing, making her expression appear less relaxed and more formidable. Her lips, subtly enhanced, now complement the sculpted lines of her face, while her jawline is more angular, lending a striking and rigid frame to her overall appearance. Experts suggest that the combination of surgical lifts, fillers, and possible botulinum treatments have reshaped her natural expressions, resulting in a visage that some fans call very dangerous because it contrasts so sharply with her previous softer, more familiar look. Social media reactions have been mixed. While some applaud her commitment to maintaining a youthful and glamorous appearance, others worry that the drastic changes have altered her identity, giving her an almost unrecognizable presence. Heidi Montag's latest post-surgery appearance has left fans and critics alike shocked, as her look is being described as very dangerous due to its dramatic and almost severe transformation. Her facial features now appear unnaturally tight and sharply contoured, particularly around the cheeks and jawline, giving her a rigid and intense expression that contrasts sharply with her former softer, more youthful look. Her eyes, seemingly lifted and widened, convey a piercing, almost unapproachable stare, while her lips appear fuller and more sculpted, adding to the overall dramatic effect. Observers suggest that a combination of multiple cosmetic procedures, including facelifts, brow lifts, and extensive filler use, have contributed to this striking change, creating a visage that some find almost unsettling. Fans are divided. Some admire her bold commitment to maintaining a glamorous image, while others worry that the extreme alterations have rendered her almost unrecognizable, shifting her once familiar appearance into something stark and formidable. Tara Reid's transformation after surgery is nothing short of shocking, leaving fans and onlookers stunned by her very dangerous look. Once known for her playful charm and youthful glow, Tara now displays facial features that seem drastically altered, with an unnerving tightness and sharpness that suggests extensive cosmetic interventions. Her cheeks appear overfilled, her jawline unusually pronounced, and her eyes have a stretched, almost unnatural quality, giving her a look that borders on severe and fragile at the same time. The overall effect is a striking departure from her familiar appearance, making her face seem tense, rigid, and almost unpredictable in its expression. While cosmetic procedures are personal choices, the extreme nature of these changes has sparked widespread concern, with many observers questioning the health and safety implications of repeated or aggressive surgery. Social media reactions range from shock to sympathy, as fans debate whether the risks of chasing a younger or altered look outweigh the desire for aesthetic perfection. Tara's current appearance serves as a stark reminder of how dramatic surgical transformations can dramatically affect one's natural features, creating a visage that some describe as dangerously different, compelling, and difficult to recognize. Lil Kim's latest transformation after surgery has shocked fans and the public alike, as the rapper now displays a very dangerous and extreme look that is hard to ignore. Once celebrated for her daring style, iconic beauty, and confident persona, Lil Kim's facial features have undergone dramatic changes, leaving her almost unrecognizable to many. Her cheeks are unnaturally pronounced, her lips swollen and strikingly full, while her eyes appear stretched and sharp, giving her an intense, almost fragile appearance. The contours of her face now seem overly tight, creating a rigidity that contrasts sharply with her previously bold yet approachable look. Fans and critics alike are reacting with a mix of disbelief, concern, and fascination, debating the impact of repeated or aggressive cosmetic surgery on her health and natural beauty. Social media is buzzing with reactions, with some expressing sympathy and caution, while others comment on the stark difference between her current appearance and the vibrant, confident image that made her a style icon. Lil Kim's transformation serves as a striking example of how far cosmetic procedures can go, blurring the line between enhancement and extreme alteration. Her current look is a combination of glamour and danger, attention-grabbing yet unsettling, and it sparks a broader conversation about the risks and consequences of pursuing radical surgical changes in the pursuit of perfection. Cardi B's recent appearance after surgery has left fans and onlookers shocked, as the rapper now shows a very dangerous and dramatic look that is hard to ignore. Known for her bold personality, striking features, and unapologetic confidence, Cardi B's facial transformation appears extreme, with overfilled cheeks, sharply defined jawlines, and lips that are fuller than ever, giving her an almost sculpted and unnatural appearance. Her eyes look stretched and intense, adding a fragile yet severe edge to her overall look. The change is a stark departure from her familiar, vibrant, and playful image, making her appear almost unrecognizable in public appearances and on social media. Reactions are a mix of concern, fascination, and disbelief, as fans debate whether repeated or aggressive cosmetic procedures can compromise both health and natural beauty. Cardi B's current look highlights the fine line between aesthetic, enhancement, and risky over-surgery, leaving many to describe her appearance as dangerously altered, strikingly extreme, and impossible to ignore, sparking conversations about the perils of pursuing radical beauty transformations. Renee Zellweger's recent appearance after surgery has left fans and onlookers genuinely stunned, as the actress now shows a very dangerous and almost unrecognizable look. Once known for her warm, natural charm and expressive features, her face now appears unusually tight and altered, with sharp cheekbones, a pronounced jawline, and eyes that seem stretched and less expressive than before. The overall effect is a dramatic departure from the familiar, approachable Renee, giving her an intense, almost fragile appearance that some describe as unsettling. Social media and public reactions are filled with shock and concern, as many question the risks of repeated or aggressive cosmetic procedures and the toll they take on natural beauty. While some defend her right to aesthetic enhancements, the extreme nature of these changes highlights the dangers of pushing surgical transformations too far, leaving her current look striking, attention-grabbing, and, for many, dangerously different from the iconic image that made her beloved. Zac Efron's appearance after his recent surgery has shocked fans around the world, giving him a very dangerous and almost unrecognizable look. His once familiar, boyish charm has transformed into something intense and striking, with sharp angles and unnaturally tight skin that make his face look dramatically different. The jawline and cheekbones are now far more pronounced, almost sculpted, giving him an edgy and haunting presence. Observers have noticed that his eyes appear deeper and more hollow, and the skin around them unusually taut, which adds to a striking, almost unsettling intensity. Even his smile, once warm and charming, now seems tense and rigid, hinting at the extreme changes beneath the surface. Fans are expressing concern over how drastically his features have changed, discussing how surgical enhancements can sometimes risk a celebrity's iconic look. The overall effect is a combination of allure and alarm. Zac Efron is still undeniably handsome, but the transformation has created a look that feels dangerously different, leaving everyone talking about the high stakes of cosmetic surgery in Hollywood today. Mickey Rourke's transformation after years of cosmetic surgery has left fans stunned, as his face now presents a very dangerous and almost unrecognizable look. Once celebrated for his rugged, masculine charm and naturally striking features, he now appears dramatically altered, with deeply sculpted cheekbones, an unusually tight jawline, and skin stretched in a way that emphasizes sharp angles and an almost haunting intensity. His eyes, once expressive and lively, now seem sunken and intense, giving him a piercing and sometimes intimidating gaze. Every line and contour on his face tells a story of both past injuries and repeated surgical interventions, creating an effect that feels edgy, dramatic, and borderline alarming. Even his smile, which used to carry warmth, now appears rigid, reflecting the extent of the transformations he has undergone. Fans and media commentators alike are captivated and concerned, noting that while he retains a certain allure, the overall effect of these surgeries has pushed his appearance into a realm that feels dangerously different and extreme, example of how cosmetic procedures, combined with aging and past injuries, can completely reshape a celebrity's iconic look. Melanie Griffith's recent cosmetic transformation has sent shockwaves through fans and the media, with her appearance now described as very dangerous and almost unrecognizable. Once celebrated for her natural, radiant beauty and warm expressions, Melanie now shows a face that is dramatically altered and sharply sculpted. Her forehead and eye areas are so tightly pulled that her expressions seem frozen, giving her a harsh and severe look. High, pronounced cheekbones and a rigid jawline add to the stark change, while her lips have been overly enhanced, making her features appear more artificial than organic. The balance and softness that once defined her face have largely disappeared, replaced by extreme angles and taut skin that can feel unsettling to see. Observers note that these changes not only age her appearance in unexpected ways, but also give a sense of fragility, as if her once familiar visage is teetering on the edge of distortion. While many celebrities undergo procedures to maintain youthfulness, Melanie Griffith's results illustrate the risks of excessive cosmetic surgery, where chasing perfection can create a startling, almost dangerous transformation. The public reaction has been a mix of concern, fascination, and disbelief, with her latest look dominating discussions about the extremes of aesthetic, surgery, and its impact on iconic faces. Goldie Hawn's latest appearance after cosmetic procedures has stunned fans, with her look now being described as very dangerous and almost unrecognizable. Once known for her effortless, warm charm and radiant, natural beauty, Goldie's face now appears dramatically altered. Her forehead and eye areas are excessively tightened, making her expressions appear frozen and giving her a severe, almost rigid demeanor. Cheeks are unnaturally high and sharply contoured, while her jawline and chin have been sculpted to an extreme, creating a stark and harsh overall effect. Even her lips appear significantly enhanced, adding to the artificiality of her features. The softness and approachable warmth that defined her iconic smile are now overshadowed by tension and sharp angles, giving her a fragile, almost unsettling presence. Observers have noted that while cosmetic procedures are often aimed at preserving youthfulness, Goldie Hawn's results highlight the dangers of overcorrection, where the pursuit of perfection leads to a look that is jarring and dramatically different from the beloved face the world has admired for decades. Her transformation has sparked a mixture of concern, disbelief, and fascination, serving as a stark reminder of the extreme risks associated with excessive plastic surgery. Meg Ryan's post-surgery transformation has stunned fans and onlookers alike, with a very dangerous look that is hard to ignore, once celebrated for her natural, girl-next-door charm and radiant smile. Meg now presents an appearance that feels almost unrecognizable. Her cheeks are unnaturally plumped, creating a pronounced stiffness across her face, while her eyes seem smaller and more recessed, giving a tense, frozen expression. Even subtle movements appear strained, as if every muscle is under pressure, erasing the warmth that once radiated effortlessly. The jawline, once soft and elegant, now looks overly sharp and rigid, further intensifying a sense of unease. Skin texture appears taut, stretched, and unnatural, highlighting the extent of surgical alteration and understating. Shadows exaggerate hollow areas. Face appear almost sculpted rather than living. Observers note this dramatic change carries more than aesthetic implications. It suggests fragility and vulnerability beneath the surface, as though the procedures have taken a toll beyond what meets the eye. Fans have expressed concern and fascination simultaneously, debating how much is reversible and whether the iconic Meg Ryan charm has been permanently altered. In totality, her post-surgery look serves as a stark, cautionary example of how cosmetic interventions can push facial aesthetics into a territory that feels not only different but dangerously distant from one's natural identity, transforming a familiar face into something that is almost eerily unfamiliar. Jennifer Grey's post-surgery transformation has become one of the most talked about examples of drastic cosmetic alteration, leaving her with a look that many describe as very dangerous and unsettling. The once distinctive features that made her instantly recognizable, especially her charming nose and expressive eyes, now appear almost unrecognizable. Her face has taken on a tighter, more sculpted appearance, with pronounced cheekbones and a jawline that seems unnaturally rigid. The subtle imperfections that gave her warmth and character are gone, replaced by a smoothness that feels frozen and artificial. Her smile, once full of life and personality, now looks restrained, as if the muscles around her mouth struggle to move naturally. Even under normal lighting, shadows highlight hollows and tension in her face, creating an almost eerie contrast to her former self. Fans and observers alike have expressed shock at how dramatically the surgeries have altered her appearance, emphasizing the fragile and precarious line between enhancement and transformation. Jennifer, Gray's new look stands as a striking example of the potential risks of overdone cosmetic procedures, demonstrating how even small changes can cascade into a completely different and dangerously unfamiliar visage. Blac Chyna's latest post-surgery transformation has left fans and critics both stunned and deeply concerned. Over the past few months, she has undergone several cosmetic procedures that have drastically altered her facial structure, giving her a look that many describe as dangerously extreme. Her cheekbones now jut sharply, creating an almost sculpted, unnatural contour that draws immediate attention, while her lips are excessively plumped, giving her a permanently swollen appearance. The skin around her eyes and forehead appears overly tight and stretched, erasing natural expressions and lending her a rigid, almost mask-like look. There is noticeable puffiness and asymmetry across her face, and some areas show signs of swelling and tension, which intensifies the perception of fragility and risk. Social media has erupted, with reactions ranging from shock and worry to fascination, with many fans expressing fear about the potential long-term health effects of repeated surgeries, while others defend her right to modify her appearance as she chooses. Regardless of opinion, her current appearance is undeniably striking, creating a look that feels both extreme and precarious, showing the fine line between beauty enhancement and overcorrection. It's a visual reminder of how multiple cosmetic interventions can radically change someone's appearance, sometimes veering into a territory that feels unnatural and alarming to the public eye. Adrienne Malouf's post-surgery appearance has raised serious concern among fans and observers, as her once elegant and refined look now carries a markedly intense and unsettling quality. After undergoing multiple cosmetic procedures, her facial features appear sharply exaggerated. Cheekbones jut prominently, lips are unnaturally full, and the skin on her forehead and around her eyes looks overly tight, erasing the natural softness of expression she once had. There is noticeable puffiness and asymmetry in certain areas of her face, which gives her a fragile and almost mask-like appearance. The overall effect is a dramatic departure from her previous, balanced look, creating a striking, extreme visage that some describe as dangerous because it suggests overcorrection and the physical strain of repeated surgical interventions. Social media reactions have been intense, with fans expressing shock, concern, and speculation about the health risks associated with such extensive cosmetic work, while others acknowledge that personal choice plays a role, yet even supporters cannot deny the stark transformation that now defines her appearance. Neen Leak's most recent post-surgery transformation has shocked fans, celebrities and social media observers alike, marking a dramatic and, for many, alarming departure from the familiar personality and elegance she was once known for. Over the past few years, Nee-Ann has undergone multiple cosmetic procedures that have fundamentally altered the contours of her face, resulting in a look that some describe as extreme and even dangerous. Her cheekbones are sharply pronounced, jutting in a way that gives her face a sculpted, almost angular appearance, while her lips appear overfilled and swollen, creating a permanent pout that draws immediate attention. The skin around her eyes, forehead, and jawline is unnaturally tight, erasing her once warm and expressive features and giving her a mask-like, rigid look. Subtle puffiness and asymmetry in certain areas add to the sense of fragility, emphasizing how repeated surgical interventions can physically strain facial tissue. The overall effect is a striking, almost uncanny appearance that feels far removed from her natural beauty, sparking widespread concern among fans who fear the potential health risks and long-term consequences of extensive cosmetic work. Social media has erupted with mixed reactions. Some viewers are horrified, describing her look as unrecognizable and extreme, while others defend her personal choice to pursue cosmetic enhancement. Regardless of perspective, Neen's transformation serves as a vivid illustration of how repeated surgical procedures can push the boundaries of natural beauty, creating a visage that is both intensely dramatic and, to many, unsettling, a reminder that the line between enhancement and overcorrection can sometimes become dangerously thin. Tyra Banks' post-surgery transformation has stunned fans, fashion enthusiasts, and social media alike, marking a striking and, for many, alarming departure from the iconic beauty she once embodied. Known for her radiant smile, flawless skin, and perfectly balanced facial features, Tyra now presents a look that is dramatically altered, raising concerns among observers about the intensity of her cosmetic interventions. Her cheekbones are sharply pronounced, jutting in a way that gives her face an almost sculpted, angular contour, while her lips are overly plumped, creating a permanently swollen, pouty appearance that dominates her expression. The skin around her forehead, eyes, and jawline appears excessively tight, erasing much of the warmth, fluidity, and natural expressiveness that made her look so familiar and approachable. There is noticeable puffiness and subtle asymmetry in several areas, lending her face a mask-like rigidity that some describe as fragile or even dangerous, suggesting the toll repeated surgeries can take on facial tissue. Social media reactions have been explosive. Fans and critics alike have voiced shock, concern, and disbelief, with many speculating about the potential health risks of repeated surgical enhancements, while others defend her right to modify her appearance as she wishes. Regardless of opinion, Tyra's transformation is undeniably extreme, creating a visage that is intense, striking, and at times unsettling, a stark reminder of how far cosmetic procedures can push the boundaries of natural beauty. Her current appearance contrasts sharply with the balanced, elegant look she was once celebrated for, illustrating the delicate line between beauty enhancement and overcorrection, and sparking ongoing discussion about the physical and emotional impact of extreme cosmetic work. Patti Stanger, once instantly recognizable for her vivacious personality and approachable charm on The Millionaire Matchmaker, now presents a drastically altered appearance that many describe as shocking and very dangerous. After her cosmetic surgeries, her once soft and expressive features have been replaced by a tense, almost frozen visage, with excessively pronounced cheekbones, unnaturally tight skin around the eyes, and a rigid jawline that gives her a severe, mask-like look. Her lips appear overfilled, and the natural curves of her face seem sculpted to the point of distortion, stripping away the warmth and familiarity that fans once loved. In photographs and video clips, the transformation is extreme. She looks almost unrecognizable, as if her former self has been overshadowed by the consequences of repeated and aggressive surgical interventions. Observers have commented that her new look is unsettling, bordering on dangerous, a stark reminder of how cosmetic procedures, when overdone, can dramatically and alarmingly change a person's appearance. Kim Zolciak-Biermann, once known for her bubbly charm and infectious personality on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, now presents a post-surgery look that is strikingly unnatural and very dangerous. Over the years, her face has undergone a series of aggressive cosmetic procedures that have left it tight, rigid, and almost unrecognizable. Her cheekbones are unnaturally high and sharply sculpted, dominating her facial structure, while her jawline and chin appear over-contoured, giving her a mask-like frozen expression. The area around her eyes is unnervingly taut, erasing the natural warmth and expressiveness that fans once adored, and her lips are excessively plump, looking overfilled and out of proportion with the rest of her face. Even her skin, once lively and radiant, now appears stretched and unnaturally smooth, creating a harsh, almost artificial effect. In photographs and video appearances, the changes are dramatic. She seems to have lost much of the personality and softness that defined her original look, replaced by a rigid and extreme aesthetic. Observers have described her transformation as alarming and unsettling, with many labeling it very dangerous, a stark illustration of how repeated, aggressive cosmetic surgery can dramatically and sometimes perilously alter one's appearance, leaving the natural self barely recognizable. Larsa Pippen, once admired for her naturally glamorous and approachable beauty, now presents a post-surgery look that has left fans and onlookers shocked, concerned, and even alarmed. Over the years, she has undergone a series of aggressive cosmetic procedures that have dramatically altered her once soft features, leaving her face looking tense, rigid, and almost unrecognizable. Her cheekbones are unnaturally high and sharply sculpted, creating a severe, mask-like contour that dominates her facial structure. The area around her eyes appears pulled and overly smooth, erasing the expressive warmth and personality she once radiated. while fine lines and natural curves have seemingly vanished under layers of tight, stretched skin. Her lips are excessively full and overfilled, giving them an unnatural, protruding appearance that is disproportionate to her other facial features. Her jawline has become sharply angular, her chin more pronounced, and her skin unnaturally taut, creating a harsh, almost artificial effect that stands in stark contrast to her former elegance. In photos, videos, and public appearances, the transformation is extreme and unmistakable. Her signature softness and natural charm have been largely replaced by a frozen, sculpted aesthetic that many describe as alarming and very dangerous. Observers note that this dramatic change is a vivid example of the risks of repeated, aggressive cosmetic interventions, showing how far surgical enhancement can go in erasing the natural beauty and warmth that once defined a person. Public reactions to Teresa Giudice and her post-procedure appearance often use extreme language, like very dangerous, to capture how striking or unfamiliar she can look compared to earlier seasons of her television career. Much of this perception comes from the layered effect of cosmetic enhancements, high-definition filming, sculpted makeup, and styling that intentionally pushes a bold, glamorous image. Teresa's signature look, sharply contoured cheeks, defined eyes, glossy lips, and sleek hairstyles, is designed for maximum on-camera impact. And under studio lighting, it can exaggerate angles and textures in ways that surprise viewers. Social media intensifies this reaction cycle. Screenshots freeze fleeting expressions, filters alter color and shadow, and side-by-side comparisons encourage dramatic storytelling about change. In reality, celebrity beauty maintenance often involves gradual tweaks rather than sudden transformations. But when combined with reality TV aesthetics, even subtle refinements can appear amplified. Teresa's evolving appearance reflects a broader entertainment culture where image reinvention is normalized and where fans project strong emotions onto familiar faces. The label of dangerous is therefore less about literal risk and more about how unexpected visual change can trigger fascination, nostalgia, or criticism. Ultimately, her look represents an ongoing dialogue between personal style, cosmetic trends, and audience perception. A reminder that in modern celebrity culture, presentation is performance, and even small shifts can feel cinematic when viewed through the lens of fame. Public fascination with Danielle Staub's appearance intensified whenever her look evolved, especially after cosmetic procedures that noticeably reshaped her facial features. Many viewers used dramatic language, calling her post-surgery image dangerous, to describe how striking and almost confrontational her aesthetic felt on screen. Her sculpted cheeks, pronounced lips, and carefully contoured makeup combined to create a high glamour style that read as larger than life, particularly under the unforgiving lights of reality television. This transformation amplified her already bold public persona, making every appearance feel intentional and theatrical, as if her look itself was part of the performance. Fans debated endlessly whether the changes represented empowerment and self-expression or crossed into excess. But nearly everyone agreed the result was impossible to ignore. The contrast between earlier photos and later appearances added to the shock factor, fueling tabloid headlines and online commentary that treated her evolving style like a spectacle. Yet what people often labeled as dangerous was really a reaction to intensity, sharp lines, dramatic styling, and a confidence that projected dominance in every frame. Her image became intertwined with her celebrity narrative, polarizing, conversation starting, and designed to command attention. Over time, that visually powerful presentation cemented her reputation as someone unafraid to reinvent herself publicly, even when opinions were divided. In that sense, the so-called danger wasn't about risk or harm, but about how forcefully her look challenged expectations, making her presence feel electric, controversial, and unforgettable whenever she stepped into the spotlight. Public conversations about Bella Hadid's appearance have often used bold, dramatic language, with some people describing her post-procedure or post-transformation look as dangerous. In fashion culture, that word usually doesn't imply harm. It reflects intensity, edge, and a striking presence that feels almost intimidating in its precision. Over time, Bella's image has shifted from softer, youthful modeling photos to a sharper, ultra-defined aesthetic associated with high couture. Her sculpted cheekbones, lifted eye shape, and sleek styling create a dramatic silhouette that stands out, powerfully under runway, lights, and in editorial photography. Much of the shock factor people react to comes from comparison, early public appearances, versus later more angular and stylized looks. As her career moved deeper into avant-garde fashion spaces, her beauty presentation became more architectural and controlled. Tight hairstyles, bold contouring, neutral matte tones, and intense expressions amplify the structure of her face, giving her a commanding presence that photographers and designers favor. In that environment, dangerous becomes a compliment, shorthand for fierce, untouchable, and high impact. Speculation about cosmetic enhancements has circulated online for years, but Bella herself has spoken about at least one early procedure and the pressures of beauty standards. Regardless of what changes are natural, stylistic, or procedural, the overall effect is carefully curated. Lighting, makeup artistry, camera angles, and fashion styling all play huge roles in creating the sharp, almost cinematic aura that defines her image today. On red carpets and runways, that intensity reads as powerful and magnetic, a look designed to dominate. Frames and command attention instantly. Gigi Hadid has long been admired for her transformative high-fashion looks, and some fans describe her post-surgery or dramatically styled appearance as dangerous due to its intense, striking impact. While confirmed cosmetic procedures remain largely speculative, her current image combines sculpted facial features, sharp contouring, and sleek hairstyles to create a commanding presence on runways and in photo shoots. The contrast between her softer early modeling photos and her current angular, editorial-ready aesthetic amplifies the perception of boldness. Under professional lighting, her cheekbones and jawline appear more pronounced, her eyes more piercing, and her overall face structure more defined. These styling choices, precise makeup, controlled expressions, and avant-garde fashion contribute to a look that feels both cinematic and magnetic. In fashion culture, dangerous is often used to describe a model whose visual presence is impossible to ignore, projecting confidence, power, and authority, rather than implying actual risk. Gigi's ability to embody both softness and sharp intensity allows her to dominate the frame, making every runway walk, red carpet appearance, or editorial shoot a statement of edgy elegance and high-impact glamour. This striking evolution ensures she remains a central figure in the conversation about modern beauty, standards, and runway-ready transformations. Public fascination with Ariana Grande's evolving appearance often centers on the dramatic intensity of her post-surgery or highly stylized look, which many describe as dangerous. While confirmed cosmetic procedures remain largely speculative, the striking changes in her facial contours, full lips, lifted brows, and defined cheekbones, combined with professional makeup, lighting, and her signature high ponytail, create a sharp, almost cinematic aesthetic. The transformation is heightened when comparing her earlier, softer appearances with her recent editorial-ready image. Ariana's stylists often use contouring, highlighting, and precise hair and makeup techniques to accentuate her facial structure, producing a commanding, attention-grabbing presence on red carpets, photo shoots, and performances. This intensity, paired with her confident expressions and fashion-forward choices, amplifies the perception of boldness. The dangerous label doesn't imply harm. Rather, it reflects how magnetic, edgy, and visually arresting her appearance has become. It signals power and high impact, glamour, a look that dominates cameras and stages alike, creating an almost cinematic aura around her persona. Ariana's carefully curated aesthetic shows how stylistic mastery, combined with subtle enhancements, can transform familiar features into a persona that feels bold, unforgettable, and impossible to ignore, solidifying her status as a fashion and beauty icon. Demi Moore's transformation after cosmetic surgery has left a shocking and almost unrecognizable visage that has alarmed fans and critics alike. Once celebrated for her radiant and timeless beauty, she now exhibits a face that appears unnaturally tight, overly sculpted, and eerily frozen, giving her an unsettling, almost dangerous look. Her cheeks are unnaturally high and sharply contoured, lips unnervingly plump, and her eyes stretched and hollowed, creating a stark, mask-like expression that seems to defy natural facial movement. The skin around her jawline and forehead appears pulled taut, erasing much of the warmth and expressiveness that once defined her iconic charm. Comparisons to her past self are jarring. What was once a soft, elegant, and approachable beauty now carries an almost severe, clinical edge. Social media and tabloids have not held back, noting how her face seems caught between youth and the extreme results of repeated procedures. A cautionary example of the risks of over-aggressive cosmetic surgery. Even casual observers describe her current appearance as startling, with some saying it evokes a sense of fragility, as if the natural harmony of her features has been pushed to a perilous extreme. Demi Moore's post-surgery look stands as a vivid reminder that the pursuit of perfection can sometimes tip into the uncanny, leaving beauty fans and followers both fascinated and deeply concerned. Jane Fonda's appearance after cosmetic surgery has left many observers stunned and uneasy, as her face now bears the hallmarks of extreme alteration. Once admired for her graceful aging and radiant natural beauty, Jane now shows a dramatically tightened and sculpted visage that borders on unnatural. Her skin appears unusually stretched, with sharp, high cheekbones and a jawline that looks almost rigid, creating a mask-like quality that erases the gentle expressions she once effortlessly conveyed. Eyes that used to sparkle with warmth now seem more hollowed and pulled, and her lips, fuller than in earlier years, add to the sense of artificiality. The overall effect is jarring. The once soft, charismatic actress now presents a severe, almost dangerous look, as if the cumulative effect of repeated procedures has pushed her facial features to an extreme. Fans and media alike have commented on the unnerving transformation, noting that the elegance and charm that defined Jane Fonda for decades have been overtaken by a striking, clinical, and almost cautionary visage that underscores the risks of excessive cosmetic interventions. Suzanne Somers' transformation after cosmetic surgery is dramatic to the point of being alarming. Once celebrated for her radiant, natural beauty and warm, inviting smile, she now presents a face that is unnaturally tight, sharply sculpted, and almost frozen in expression. Her cheekbones jut prominently, giving her mid-face a severe angular contour, while her lips are unnervingly full, creating a stark contrast with the delicate features she once had. The skin around her eyes is pulled taut, erasing the subtle expressions and sparkle that made her face approachable, and her jawline appears rigid, adding a mask-like, almost eerie quality. Observers note that the harmony of her facial features has been disrupted by repeated procedures, leaving an appearance that feels extreme, clinical, and unsettling. The once soft elegance and charm that defined Suzanne Somers over decades have been overtaken by a visage that many describe as dangerously altered, a vivid example of how aggressive cosmetic surgery can push natural beauty into an uncanny, almost alarming territory. Every line, contour, and highlight now screams the cost of relentless facial modifications, making her look less like the graceful star of the past and more like a cautionary figure in the world of cosmetic extremes. Kathy Griffin's transformation after cosmetic surgery is both dramatic and unsettling, leaving her almost unrecognizable to fans and the public. Once admired for her vibrant, expressive, and approachable features, she now presents a face that appears unnaturally tight, sculpted, and frozen, giving her an almost mask-like quality. Her cheekbones are sharply defined and exaggerated, her lips unnaturally full, and the skin around her eyes and jawline pulled taut, erasing much of the warmth and humor that once made her face so iconic. The overall effect is severe and jarring. Fine lines and natural softness have vanished, replaced by an almost rigid clinical appearance that feels extreme and, to some, dangerously artificial. The lively, charismatic Kathy Griffin of decades past contrasts starkly with this new visage, where every contour, every pulled line, and every altered feature signals the profound consequences of repeated cosmetic procedures. Observers describe her look as uncanny, almost eerie, a vivid example of how relentless pursuit of perfection through surgery can transform recognizable beauty into a visage that shocks, fascinates, and unsettles all at once. Rose McGowan's transformation after cosmetic surgery is dramatic, shocking, and almost unsettling in its extremity. Once celebrated for her edgy, natural beauty and expressive features, she now presents a face that looks unnaturally tight, pulled, and highly sculpted, giving her a frozen, mask-like appearance. Her cheekbones jut sharply, creating a harsh contour across her mid-face, while her lips are unnervingly full, contrasting with the delicate features she once had. The skin around her eyes is stretched taut, erasing the depth and sparkle that once gave her gaze warmth and character. And her jawline is rigid, adding a severe, almost eerie quality. Fine lines and natural expressions have been smoothed away entirely, leaving a visage that feels artificial and extreme. The Rose McGowan of today bears little resemblance to the vibrant, charismatic actress of previous decades. The charm, softness, and edgy allure that defined her have been replaced by a striking clinical severity. Observers describe her look as dangerously altered, almost uncanny, where every line, contour, and pulled feature screams the consequences of repeated cosmetic procedures. This transformation serves as a stark, cautionary example of how far cosmetic surgery can push recognizable beauty into the realm of the unnerving and uncanny, leaving a face that is both mesmerizing and alarming in equal measure. Tori Spelling's post-surgery appearance has become a topic of serious concern and widespread discussion. Once known for her approachable girl-next-door charm, her face now tells a dramatically different story. Her cheeks are unnaturally high and overly pronounced, giving her a sculpted but almost mask-like quality, while her jawline appears unnaturally sharp and tight, lacking the subtle softness it once had. Around her eyes, the skin looks pulled and stretched, creating a frozen, wide-eyed stare that contrasts starkly with her former expressions. Her lips are significantly plumped, adding to the overall sense of imbalance in her facial features. The combination of aggressive fillers, Botox, and potential surgical interventions has resulted in an appearance that many describe as extreme and even alarming. Fans and critics alike worry, not just about aesthetics, but also about potential health implications, as repeated procedures can carry serious risks, from tissue damage to long-term nerve issues. The transformation highlights the dangers of overcorrection in cosmetic surgery, where the pursuit of perfection can lead to unnatural and precarious results. Observers note that Tori's once familiar and warm face now seems almost unrecognizable, a stark reminder of how quickly cosmetic enhancements can tip into risky territory. Kylie Richards' post-surgery transformation goes beyond subtle cosmetic enhancement and veers into a dramatic, almost shocking change. Her cheekbones are unnaturally high and sharply defined, giving her face a sculpted but somewhat skeletal appearance. The under-eye area is taut to the point that it looks hollowed, creating a stark contrast with the overly plumped lips. Her jawline appears extremely angled, almost mechanical, losing the soft, natural curves she once had. Even her forehead and brow region seem unusually lifted, contributing to a frozen, mask-like expression. The overall effect is jarring. Her once familiar features now seem distorted, making her appear much older or more artificial than before. Fans and onlookers have expressed concern not only for the aesthetic extremity but also for the health risks such aggressive cosmetic surgery can carry, such as tissue strain, nerve damage, and complications from multiple procedures layered over time. Her transformation serves as a stark example of how repeated or excessive surgical interventions can dramatically alter a person's natural appearance, sometimes creating an unnervingly dangerous look that raises both beauty and medical alarms.